So, as you've read your Bible all your life, when you read through the period of the conquest in the book of Joshua, you probably read right over this place. Around Joshua 10, we learn about the Canaanite kings who were here and how they came out to battle against Joshua, and how that this town was given into the hands of the Israelites. And then this town sort of sleeps in the background until about 701 BC, and this becomes a very important city in Sennacherib's invasion of Judea. After Samaria has fallen in 722 BC, we go through a couple of Assyrian kings, and Sennacherib takes the throne and resumes this invasion into this part of the world. And so that's why we're here at Lachish. It's not because this is one of the primary backgrounds for the whole biblical narrative, but because this is such an important place as Judah became weaker after that Assyrian invasion. So I'll say a little more later maybe, but I'm going to turn it back over to Ami. Just wanted you to connect where this is and why we're here.
Okay, thank you. All right. What I want to say is from here, very easy to see the Judean mountains from here. When we're going to go on top, you're going to see it even better. What I want to say is that there is a certain time, and there is a testimony that he can't see the fire on Azikah. They cannot see actually the signal on the other cities, on the other fortification. That means that they failed already. And Jerusalem, and this is one of the last fortifications that falls in the hands of Sennacherib. This is one of the biggest hills in the country, but we can see already amazing work that was done over here. You can see. Come with me, please. This was the second most important fortification in Judea, Lachish. So he just mentioned 701 actually, and then Nebuchadnezzar at 586. The first temple was actually destroyed in Jerusalem. Look at the walls. Part of the wall has been reconstructed over here, but we can see the fortification of the city. And now we're coming to the gate, the main gate. They already have done the black line over here, like we talked in Masada. The rest. This is the city gate over here. The plaza of the city gate, the control. You have two gates, one inside and one exterior, one outside. Let's not forget that the gate was trade, protection, judgment. Everything was done. A lot of things were actually in the gate. Okay, that was the exterior part of the gate. This is the interior part of the gate. The different rooms, the different checkpoint, and so on. Then we're going in. So they found ostracons actually that they are dated from the last years before the Babylonian actually taking over, before 586.
But this was, common stationery to get a piece of broken pottery and send a note on it. Hosea is writing to Jerusalem, says, "May God cause my Lord to hear this very day tidings of good, and may my Lord be apprised that we are watching for the fire signals of Lachish, because we cannot see Azikah." Azikah is a town just up the road. This is the curtain falling on the kingdom of Judah.
Yeah, that's nice also. You can see the palace of the governor. There's a few thoughts about where the people lived here.
And on that prism are recorded some of the annals of Sennacherib. Again, we're talking 701 BC. He says this, As to Hezekiah the Jew, he did not submit to my yoke. I laid siege to 46 of his strong cities, walled forts, and to the countless small villages in their vicinity. So you all know the story of Hezekiah being in Jerusalem when Sennacherib tells them not to put their faith in the God of Hezekiah, but to surrender. As you know, the Bible version of that is that the Assyrian army fell one night by the interaction of God on that army.
I have to understand, we don't have so much about the first temple period, and this is one of them, one of the most important ones. This is the best view from here. Oh, Jerusalem over there. And Azikah is over there in a straight line behind the trees. When he says, I can't see anymore the signal from Azikah. When the Judean cities are falling one after the other ones. This is from Chronicle over here. What we can understand from that also, when we start, we've been in Dan, and the separation of the northern kingdom from Judea was a catastrophe, it was bad. It would make actually weaker the Israel. Israel became weaker, and the enemy is taking advantage of it. And we can see it later on. The Assyrians, and finally the Persians.
It is absolutely heartbreaking to me because these were people that perhaps had lived religiously in rebellion. They had sinned. Their ancestors had sinned. Ancestors had done things like set up idols and Asherah poles in the temple in Jerusalem, or they would within a few years of this invasion. But the judgment of God falls on this land through the hand of Assyria, and then ultimately through the hand of Nebuchadnezzar in 586 BC. And so I think this is a very sobering place to visit. We often talk about the blessings of God. We often give thanks for the blessings of God. But behold, therefore, the goodness and the severity of God on them which obeyed goodness, but on them which fell severity. And here you see the severity of God administered through the Assyrian army, and we'll see more.